Hello and welcome to Run Testers. My name's Nick and this is our first run review of the Reebok Floatride Energy 5. So I've been a fan of the Reebok Floatride Energy over the past couple of generations as a really good value all-rounder running shoe. It's a versatile option, can handle a nice variety of training, and it comes in a lot cheaper than most of the shoes on the market while actually performing just as well or even better than some of those much more expensive shoes. All that said, the price has gone up for the Reebok Floatride Energy 5 here in the UK. It's now £85 compared to £75 for the Floatride Energy 4. In the US, the price stays the same though at $110. And this is a shoe that's nearly always in deals and included in discount codes, so even the relatively low RRP is a price you won't often have to pay with this shoe. The new version is a little bit heavier than the Floatride Energy 4. It weighs in at 256 grams or 9 ounces in a UK 8.5. That's actually a little bit heavier than the previous version of the shoe, which I have here, even though I had a size 9 in the previous version. So Reebok has increased the weight of the shoe slightly by adding to the midsole, which we'll come on to, but it's still a pretty lightweight shoe for a daily trainer. The stack is now 27mm at the heel and 90mm at the forefoot for an 8mm drop. That's changed slightly from the previous shoe, which had a 9mm drop and had half a millimetre less stack at the heel and 1.5mm less stack at the forefoot. So Reebok has increased the stack height mainly at the forefoot and reduced the drop by 1mm. So you've got a little bit more stack height, and Reebok has also made the shoe wider, so there's more foam in terms of height and width, which is where the extra weight comes from. That foam is Reebok's Floatride Energy foam, which is a bit firmer than some of the really squishy foams on the market, but still a pretty comfortable foam. Probably the biggest change that's been made to the shoe is that Reebok has put an X-shaped torsion plate into the midfoot, which is designed to help create stability and limit lateral movement. To that end, they've also added some more overlays and structure to the upper, and it's also a little bit more cushioned around the tongue and heel than the previous version of the shoe, which again will have added some weight, but it's still a pretty lightweight mesh material for the most part. Then the outsole has got great rubber coverage across the board with almost small pellet-shaped lugs you have there. There is quite a sizable cutout here at the back of the midfoot, but all the key areas that are going to come into contact with the ground do have good rubber coverage on them.
So the fit of the shoe is a little bit of a weird one with the Floatride Energy, and it has been for me over the last couple of generations. So I actually went for a UK 8.5 in the Floatride Energy 5 because I did note with the Floatride Energy 4 that my normal size, the UK 9, was just a bit big. And then with the 5 and 8.5 does fit pretty well. There's still quite a lot of room at the front of the toe box there. It's quite a long shoe, but then it is quite snug around the heel and midfoot, so I don't think I really want to go any smaller than I have done already. So yeah, it's a slightly odd shoe. It is a little bit longer than you'd expect. And actually, looking at the 8.5 of the Floatride Energy 5, it seems as long as the 9 of the Floatride Energy 4. So certainly a few little oddities to the fit of the shoe, I'd say. But overall, going half size down has worked out quite well for me. It fit well on the run today. I have no real concerns about it. So just heading out to the first run in the Reebok Floatride Energy 5. I've got a very standard training run for me on the plan today. It's an easy to steady 10k with some strides at the end. Kind of run I'll do once or twice a week, and very much the kind of run this shoe should excel at as a nice versatile daily trainer. So first few k will be a nice relaxed, easy pace, and I move through the gears a little bit towards the end of the run, finishing with 2 or 3k's at a good pace. I should be on fairly flat ground today, I think, so I should be somewhere around 340 a k pace by the end there. Few strides and home. I think it was pretty much the exact same first run as I did in the Reebok Floatride Energy 4, although that might have been an hour, and really enjoyed that shoe for this kind of run, which is what you'd expect it to be good at given the kind of shoe you've got here. So it just started raining a little bit, which is a bit annoying, but other than that, looking forward to the run. Well, that got very wet very quickly. An absolute storm cropped up halfway through that run, which is a good way to test the grip on the Reebok, which wasn't amazing actually, I have to say. At first, when we just had that light sheen of a little bit of drizzle on the pavement, had a little bit of slippage, and then when it was really hammering it down the same, it's not terrible, you could run on it reasonably quickly, but when I came to the strides at the end, it was a bit nervy for me, running really hard in the shoe on very wet pavements at that point. But yeah, so that's something we're looking at. Maybe it'll scuff up a bit and start to grip a bit better in some later runs to see on that. Otherwise, the feel of the shoe was very similar to the previous version of this shoe for me. I enjoyed it. It's a fairly lightweight shoe, not that much cushioning, just kind of a shoe that lets you get on with it. And it was certainly comfortable enough early on and throughout the run. I had no signs of discomfort at all. It wasn't the longest run in the world, but yeah, no problems with rowing, no discomfort under my feet or anything like that. It was good amount of cushioning, good amount of protection, and then it was lightweight, nimble enough to pick up the pace nicely towards the end there. Felt like a very controlled run, and was just good. Ticked all the boxes as a pretty unintrusive everyday trainer. Like the foam isn't the softest or bounciest or squishiest in the world, but it's not firm. There's a little bit of sink in there. It gives you a little bit back. It's not the most dramatic ride, but it does work at a nice range of paces, which is what you want from a daily trainer like this. So yeah, strong first impression of the shoe, reminding me a lot of the previous version of the shoe. It's got that little bit more weight, a little bit more cushioning around the upper, but nothing that was too noticeable to me on the run today at all. I like the fact it's got a bit more cushioning under the forefoot. I generally like that in shoes because of the way I snap through when I run. I can get a bit of discomfort under the forefoot, and I had none of that today, even over the course of 10K, which is probably just under 40 minutes, and it's putting a bit of force through the shoe by the end. I didn't have any problems with discomfort at all. So all in all, strong first impression. Like, you don't expect the shoe to knock your socks off necessarily. Like, it's just got a nice, reliable feeling underfoot. There's nothing dramatic like you might get from other shoes like the New Balance Rebel or something like that with more exciting squishy foams. It's just a good solid shoe and lets you get on with your run at a nice range of daily training paces. Yeah, good first impression out there today. So the Floatride Energy 5 has got a couple of small changes to the Floatride Energy 4, but mostly it sticks to the same formula, which I think is the right idea from Reebok. I think they know they're onto a good thing with this shoe, which has garnered a deserved reputation as a very good value all-rounder running shoe, and the latest generation sticks to the same key elements, which is the Floatride Energy midsole, really. It's not overly cushioned, this shoe. It's not a very high-stack shoe, not a very squishy shoe, but there's enough cushioning there, and the relatively low stack height compared to lots of other things on the market today means that it's quite a lightweight shoe, and that obviously helps with versatility. Like, it does feel like it's a good solid daily trainer to use for a nice variety of runs. Some people might prefer more cushioning than you get with this shoe, or softer cushioning, or livelier cushioning, bouncy cushioning, all that kind of thing, but it's good cushioning, it works well, it delivers what you need for daily training. It does so at a much lower price than lots of other shoes out there. Purely on performance, there are some shoes I might prefer, but they're all gonna be a lot more expensive than this. And actually, this isn't a shoe that really underperforms compared to lots of other shoes. It's just a different feel to it. It's a slightly less exciting foam than things like the New Balance Rebel V3, and it's got a less smooth ride and a cushioned ride compared to the Hoka Mach 5, and then the Puma Velocity Nitro 2, which is only a little bit more expensive. Again, it's a slightly bouncier midsole. It's got better grip for sure, I would say that. But after one run in the Floatride Energy 5, it does feel like it does the same stuff as the Floatride Energy 4, which is it delivers a good, comfortable, versatile ride you can use for lots of different runs. It might not be the most exciting standout shoe in your collection, but if you just want a good value shoe just to use for pretty much everything, it exists in this shoe. And in a market where things are getting increasingly out of hand in terms of running shoe prices, this is a really lovely option just to have. Obviously, it's gone up a bit in the UK this year, but it's always in sales this year as well. After a while, there's usually codes and stuff. You can get it down towards like 50 quid, similar to the Puma Velocity Nitro. So already a good value shoe that you can then get for a lot less. So after the first run, I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen from the Floatride Energy 5. It feels like it's going to tick the same boxes as the previous version. Didn't notice a massive change in the ride feel with the slight increase in cushioning and the new torsion plate for stability and all that. Only thing that really didn't impress me that much today was the grip, but it was really very wet out there. Hopefully it won't be quite so wet on future runs in the shoe. Obviously, I'm going to keep testing it. I'd like to take it up some faster paces, see how it handles interval sessions, although with a marathon coming up, I'm not sure when I'll be getting around to some of those. And then obviously we'll look at long runs to see how comfortable it is compared to some of the more max cushioned options on the market, of which there are plenty. But yeah, if you don't like an overly cushioned shoe, an overly soft shoe, then the Floatride Energy 5 I think will do you very well across pretty much every kind of run. Some people might want a little bit more cush for long runs and recovery runs as well, actually, when you might want just that little bit of extra soft cushioning underfoot. So it's something I'll try and check out for the full review. The only other thing I'd say is that if you are looking at this shoe as a great value option, then the Floatride Energy 4 might be an even better value option now because the newer shoe has come out. Like, there's not a huge difference I've noticed after that first run with the newer shoe, so you might be able to scoop up a deal on the Floatride Energy 4, which is a little bit lighter as well, which is usually a bit of a bonus in a running shoe. So that's our first look at the Reebok Floatride Energy 5. Are you a big fan of this line? If you so, have you tried the new shoe? How do you find it compared to previous versions? Please do dive into the comments of any other really good value shoes that you think we should be checking out. Like, subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.